YouTube family, I'm back, and I really did not have a desire or a thought to even come out here and make any more videos with anything 2K25 related. But the gameplay you're seeing is, of course, going to be a 2K25 gameplay. But the discussion is going to be based around 2K26. Shout out to Slim2Wavy. You know who you are. You guys may not. And actually, the gameplay that you see is probably going to have him in there, because I've recorded the games. But anyway, backstory. Slim2Wavy is a supporter, a family member, a subscriber that reached out to me through Twitter and asked to run. And we ran, and he was good. He was good. He was the first random that I actually played 2K with since I started making 2K content exclusively. So he's a good experience, but I know to be careful because not every experience would be that same way. But he just happened to strike at the right time and got the opportunity and capitalized on it. But he is the motivation behind this video, because he asked me today, what did I think about the news that was coming out on 2K26? And it dawned on me that if he, as a fellow subscriber, family member, supporter of me, took the time to reach out to me to ask me my opinions on what has been shown to us over the last few weeks, then that means that there's many of you out there who may not have taken that step, but you want to hear my opinion on the information that has been given to us over the course of the last few weeks. And so here it is. Now, don't get me wrong, I am very excited for 2K26. Don't get me wrong. I'm excited, I'm looking forward to it, but mainly because of the fresh start that it is. You know, not because of the gimmicks or the mechanics or the new animations that they are introducing to us during this drip feed event all the way up to the release of the game, or the early release of the game. Because given that 2K26 is essentially a copy and paste from 2K25, now you have, or I should say we have, an opportunity to perfect the craft that we want to perfect going into 2K26. And so that's where the excitement really stems from. The excitement stems from being able to take what you've learned in 25 and then molding and shaping it even better into 26 and taking your game possibly to the next level. When 2K releases these new articles and gameplays about these new mechanics and the customization and, oh, we got this, now you can pick your own scoop layup, your regular layup, your floaters, your reverse layups, your euro steps, your hop steps, all of that stuff is just hoopla. When they come out and they say we've added, I seen that Zach, I think his name is Zach Timmerman or something like that, when he says, oh, we have 4,200 new animations. That all of that is just hoopla. It's really hoopla, because I know this community. I've been a part of this community for a very long time. May not have been content creating for a long time, but I've been playing 2K for a very, very long time. All that animation, all that customization, all that new mechanics, everything that you are adding really means nothing, because people of this community will still constrict themselves to key animations once the meta drops. Once your 2K labs and your 2K creators and your other 2K people come and start to shape the meta, they start to find out, which layup animations are best and which pass styles are best and which dribble styles are best. And then all of a sudden it starts to form and the meta starts to take shape. All those new animations and mechanics and styles that you added become ghosts. They become ghosts. They don't even exist anymore. Adding 4,200 new animations to a game and only 7 of them are going to be used over the course of the year. is a useless thing to even say. You might as well, if people are going to constrict themselves, you might as well constrict for them. Why open up the animation pool when it's going to get closed anyway by the people who get access to it? You know? So that's why the excitement to the game, or for what the game is trying to sell you, doesn't really get me. It's just the game itself and the opportunity of something new that really, really gets me. So when it comes to 26, like, that's really just where it is. That's how it goes. That's how I'm viewing it. That's how I'm looking at it. Looking at it for an experience for myself and for the guys that I'll be playing with going into next year, because we got something cooking up. We got a game plan, an outline, a blueprint to how we're going to approach 2K26, not only for ourselves, but for you guys as viewers. Because me, myself, and ourselves, we are important. But since I decided to get into the content creation lane, you guys have an importance to you as well. Whether it's what you want to see, what you want to hear, what you want to look at, that stuff is very important. So I have to come up with a blueprint and concepts and things that make sense based off of the brand of the channel that you decided to follow. Because the subscribers that are here for a reason. I have to attack that reason why you're here, instead of trying to do things to attract new viewers who may not be as loyal as you may be. They're just trend riders per se, or they follow the trend, or wave riders. That's probably a better description for them, or title. But nonetheless, 26 is going to be a new experience. It's going to be a great experience, but it's not going to be something that you may necessarily think of. You know, it's not going to be something that you will, I don't think it's going to be memorable in a sense, because my philosophy is each 2K has a theme to it. This year we can say this was the year of the Blitz steals or whatever. Like, the steals define basically your whole 2K experience. Next year is going to be something. It's going to be something next year. We just don't know what it is yet. But 2K26, I think, while it's going to be great for casuals and new players, when it comes to like regular 2K people, it ain't going to be no different than 25, then 24, then 23, then 22, then 20, then so on and so on, all the way back. Because at the end of the day, the community will make the game. Developers might create it, might come up with an idea for it, might enhance it, but the community makes it and shapes it. Whatever the developers designed the game to be, the community is going to show you how the game is going to be. And the developers really can't do nothing about it, because no matter whatever the developers try to stop, the community will find a way to exploit it. It's like that with any game you can think of nowadays. There's a very few, seldom type of genre of games where the community that plays it for the experience that is had. But most of these games release with one intention, and the community takes it to another direction, which goes back to a video that I made a while ago, that 2K community is the reason why the game is bad. When people say 2K is trash, they're not talking to the developers directly. They're talking to the experience that they experience in the game based off of the community that they are playing amongst. That's what makes the game bad. That's what makes the game unplayable to certain people. Adjusting is something that we as people don't like to do. We just don't. We get comfortable, we get complacent, we don't like change. The reason why most of this community starts to complain when a new iteration comes out and asks for patches and things of that nature is because something that they relied on a year before gets canned to the ground. And now instead of just adjusting to the new way of doing things, they want to recreate the same thing that they did the prior year, which is how metas end up getting shifted, or metas stay or shape in a way that stay the same. T-Mac jump shot has been a staple throughout the years. It's been a staple throughout the years. And the name of the jump shot might say Tracy McGrady, but it's really just the release point and the height of the shot that everybody likes to use. And so even if you remove the name Tracy McGrady, this community will search through jump shot after jump shot after jump shot after jump shot until they find the Tracy McGrady base. It just may be under a new name, some name that we may not even know. Prime example of that is me. I used to be a real big fan of Kobe Bryant. Now I'm giving myself an example just to show you. And see, I don't even have the mentality that the majority of this community has, but it just goes to show that it can be anybody. But I was a fan of the Kobe Bryant jump shot. When they changed his jump shot finally in 2K14, when it finally went away from that fade jump shot that they gave it and it became that straight up jump shot that we know today, that started in 2K14 old gen before next gen even came out. That was the original 2K14 that they finally changed that jump shot to that straight up shot. And of course, as you start playing throughout the game, you start to realize they hide his jumper behind typically higher jump shot ratings. And this year, going through the builds that I went through, not all jump shots was able to get Kobe Bryant's. Not all players was able to get Kobe Bryant's jump shot. And because of that, you had to, how should I say? You had to either go do a new jump shot or find something that was similar feel to Kobe's jump shot. And then it turns out some player named Derek Whitehead has the exact same Kobe Bryant jump shot in 2K25. The same form, same release, everything. The only difference is the grades on it differ. Kobe, I think, is like a A- release height and like a A timing and like a A- stability and like a A- or A defensive immunity. And then Derek Whitehead has like a C timing stability, a C a defensive immunity, A- release height, and then like a C speed or something like that. So, but all I'm saying is that's essentially the same jump shot. So if you wanted to shoot Kobe Bryant jump shot and you didn't have the ratings to get Kobe Bryant jump shot, you would just use Derek Whitehead to get the jump shot. But that's just an example to show that like familiarity or comfortability will reign supreme. And that's why, and that ties into the gimmicks of creating all these new animations. Really just that shouldn't be your selling point. It should never be your selling point, because the real 2K people know that the reality is those animations mean nothing. 4,200 animations more added on just means there's more animations about to be unused and untouched for the year. That's all it means. It doesn't mean it's going to be more being used. It means there's more animations that will literally be sitting in the waiting to purchase section where it's telling you the price of the animation. It is going to sit there until the 2K labs and the 2K testers and the creators who test different things release things to the public that say, hey, this may be viable, this is not viable, this stinks, don't do this, don't do that. So that just needs to be just negated entirely. And gameplay wise, I mean, we know what we're going to get. The gameplay of 2K has been the same since its inception. You're going to get a variation of a 5-out offense. You're either going to get a 5-out offense with an ISO player or a 4-out 1-in with the screen setting shooting person. There's going to be people that buy this game early, play it on August 29th, but will be resorted to a corner where they might take 2, maybe 3 shots in a game, and that will be their year of 2K26. They'll be the ones saying the game is pretty good, but their stats will show they don't do anything. They're essentially an AI. And it's going to continue to be like that every single year until the game has to get like revamped and remade, or defense reaches a stage where it's literally, once you get downloaded, there's literally nothing you can do. But 2K would never go to that extent to download, to allow the defense to really be able to negate the offense, because there's way too many offensive players in this game than there are true defensive players. And once you get downloaded, that's when the game would become trash. But the game would never allow an offensive player to be truly clamped just because of the animations in the game, just because of the badges. There's more offensive badges that can be activated than a defensive badge that can negate that action. If defenders had a badge, every badge to match whatever the offense wanted to do, and had movement to be able to stop everything the offense wanted to do, then what type of game would we have? Because I feel like if it was a way to do that, then that means that the creativity of guards would have to go up, because now that chain dribble move that you learned from this YouTuber, who learned it from this YouTuber, who then released it to their fan bases and their supporters, and now all their supporters are doing what they just learned from this person, means that once you download the originator's move, everybody under him is downloaded as well. And now the creativity will have to come up, because now it's going to become a read and react type of game. Instead, there's going to be some animations, like there is every year, that doesn't require the player to read and react. The player is just going to be able to do that move and know that it's going to get open based off of the badges that he's activating. And I think that might be the biggest or the main issue with 2K, is that a lot of things aren't read and react. A lot of things are already predetermined based off of the badge. Now, players play the game in a read and react way, but we all know players who literally rely on canned animations per se that you can't really react to. For instance, it's funny how Kevin Cruz would release something simulation wise, and with all the flack that he may get about not being good, then the people who think they are good uses the tools that he uses. But an example would be like that physical finisher, or that strong handle spin. That strong handle spin is a canned animation that you can't really react to. It's not like somebody's playing you to the baseline and then you're spinning back to the paint off of the reaction to the read that he made to cut you off from going baseline. That animation triggered just because you touched me while I was dribbling and I rotated at the right time. Now I get this canned animation to immediately spin off of you to get space to either create from that. You get what I'm saying? Instead of it being a read and react play. Another one would be like when you played those, I haven't played a lot of them this year, but when you play those what you call them, the Euro step guys, the guys that as soon as you touch them while they're driving, they Euro step in the opposite direction of where you're driving, and you can't really negate that or be on that because it's part of the animation. And you may not have necessarily been trying to cut him off. You were just trying to get contact or touch him, and then he was able to just Euro step around you. You have nothing, you have no way to be able to counter that. And now every time you body contact him, he can go into that move. You get what I'm saying? So there is some fine tuning with that has to get done. But at the end of the day, there's going to be an animation that gets discovered that you don't have to read and react to, or read and react to make it work. It's literally just going to be an animation that you can get over with. You know, ankle breakers are another example. Like an ankle breaker, sometimes you get broke and you didn't even get ankle broken. You get what I'm saying? It wasn't like you went left and he really went right. It was the fact that you guarded him and then he was able to do some hop back move or something, and all of a sudden your player just get broke up like you don't got crossed by God himself, and then that guy gets to get an open layup on a dunk and he ain't did nothing. He don't did the same move he don't did the entire game, and you didn't get broke at all. But then he does it this one time, and all of a sudden you just flailing out of bounds uncontrollably. It's things like that. I think if they were to tweak that and they were to add like some actual read and react moments to where every move that gets done to you can be countered if you download that move, I think we might be on to something. But that's a deeper story, and I can go into a lot, but I'm just gonna decide to cut it short here because, you know, we're just ready. We're ready. So with that being said, I would like to know what some of you think of 26 from the news that you heard recently. And what do you think is a way that would bring more enjoyment to your experience of 2K, and how 2K may be able to implement something that can bring a better experience for, you know, some of us that want to play the game in a manner of respecting the game of not only basketball itself, but the game of 2K itself. I'm interested to hear from you. So fire back.